Welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. We were going to walk into the Hadret house before we were rudely interrupted. As you near the apparition, you're overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than the emotion itself. It wrenches your insides nevertheless. The apparition's brow is tensed, a look of concern playing across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
My mind has been elsewhere.
Oh? And what troubles you?
The pain in your stomach deepens, and you feel for a moment as though you're about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence. I wish to leave the order. The man folds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
I've done something unforgivable. The apparition exhales slowly, and its lips press together, a sympathetic rapport in its eyes. It places a hand on your shoulder.
I see. And you would cast yourself out, is that it?
What I've done, no god would have me now.
If you believe that, then I have failed you as a teacher. There are many gods so that all people are looked after, no matter who they are or what they've done. The only ones who need fear anything are those who abandon their gods, thinking all is lost. But for those who beg help and forgiveness, the gods always provide.
Only for the deserving.
I will tell you the truth. There may be some among the gods who would see you punished. But after punishment comes absolution, redemption.
The wheel turns and turns.
Whatever stain there is upon your soul, the gods can wash it clean. But you must dedicate yourself to them in return. That is what makes one deserving. Will you return the faith they put in you?
The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely. Something warm and soothing. It's something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will. What? What the fuck? You never get used to that. Well, I don't. I hear my companions have. I think, yes, I'm certain of it.
Good day, stranger.
I am not a cipher. As such, I cannot interact with him. How do you know? As a cipher, it's my job to know these things. You carry the whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? Not as much as I'd like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. I was invited here by Lady Webb. Forgive me, she doesn't take many visitors, but the ones she does invite are a fascinating lot. I have always marveled at her choices. Nothing in common to my eyes, but her sight is far keener than mine. I wonder what it is she sees. Her room is upstairs, the one with the guards out front. The city may not understand her value, but the Duke certainly does. Looks like you do some help. So many secrets and trails in this city. You have to but turn a corner to find a fresh trace of something stolen or someone missing. Unfortunately, we haven't the time to investigate it all. I'm supposed to be working on other matters, but my mind still lingers on a few recent cases. Curse of the cipher to be ruled by whims of curiosity. Tell me about them. One case or three, depending on how you look at it. 3 weeks and a disappearance at the end of each. Some might call it coincidence. I call it a clue. Lady Webb knows you, trusts you, so I shall trust you too, as long as your interests are aligned. Where should I start? Just like one of those Valian whodunits. Read a few of those on the road, helps me pass the time. Copper Lane, Undra's Gift, and Brackenbury, of course. To talk to the ones who report the disappearances, the only ones who know enough to care. Laura, Oli, Ilka. Who's missing? 2 men, 1 woman. Lendry, Kendall, and Cora. Best to ask Ollie. Seems they drank together at the Salty Mast. Also seems that no one knows him well enough to miss him. Kendall. A dwarf who carries traces of fine wine and young dandies. Plenty of time and money to spend on her pleasures. Try Brackenbury. Cora. Sister of Laura, one of the merchants on the Copper Lane Bazaar. Not the kind of person who just disappears, it seems. Laura was most distraught. Find any leads? Not yet. No obvious connection. Could be animancy related. Researchers always need subjects, the less scrupulous types in particular. Too risky for the sanitarium, but no one knows. I wouldn't put it past them. Let's talk about something else. I check for soul connections, looking for lost things, missing things, or troublesome things, particularly where people of power and influence are concerned. I'm a cipher. In Erglonfoth, we were once known as Brishalguin, Mind Hunters. Nice title, yes. But it wasn't until the Animancers began working with my kind 40 years ago that we truly understood our power. Now we make some of the best detectives in the world, tracing souls. We can look at a person and see where they've been, or look at a weapon and see who's touched it. Very interesting. Alrighty then. Up the stairs to Miss Webb. Lady Webb will see you now. Jesus Christ. Beyond my ability. This woman clutches a thick stack of parchment with spindly, wrinkled fingers, their flesh stretched thin to near translucence with extreme age. A gossamer veil over pale blue veins, ink splotches and candle burns dot and stripe her hands like a quilt patterned after some great indescribable truth. She does not look up from her reading.
So, the messenger conveyed my summons. A miracle that would make the reincarnation of Aothis look like a child's cantrip, surely. It doesn't draw the most inspired minds, messaging. They failed me so many times of late, I nearly sent a cipher after you instead. So this is the Watcher who took over Cad Noir. Oh, don't look so surprised. It isn't an attractive expression. I wouldn't be where I am for long if I let details like that escape me.
Not too impressive, no. So it's true, those spies of hers don't miss much.
And this fiasco in the sanitarium that you seem to have gotten yourself into the middle of. What in blazes possessed you to stir that nest of trouble?
There's someone I need to find.
Not just any someone, though. Someone in the service of the Leaden Key. You're not the only one with an interest in their recent activities. I've lost 4 ciphers this year alone trying to get someone inside their ranks. As it is, we only have our suspicions about who is in the group and what they intend. Which I suppose means we have much in common with them. I asked you here because I wanted to know what your interest was in all of this. I thought perhaps we might help each other. Why are you looking for the Leaden Key?
One of their members caused me to awaken. I need him to reverse it, or else I'll go insane and die. She closes her eyes and the lids flicker, then her face goes stale and her mouth parts, little more than a sliver, and her hand briefly drops open, spilling some of her parchment to the ground. The page is wafting around her legs like the leaves of a dying tree. Her fleshy eyelids peel back and her gaze is immediately upon you.
The gods are cruel, I'm afraid. The man you seek is Thaos Ix Arcanon, Grand Master of the Leaden Key. One of the most elusive and dangerous men Eora has ever known.
How do you know? What can you tell me about him?
More than most, though very few would know so much as his name. And there is no way of knowing how much of what I've read is true. The Leaden Key dates back more than 2,000 years. If rumors are to be believed, Thaos was the one who created it.
And if his abilities include being able to swap bodies, all he does is just swap with someone who's young and is like, my body now.
What scraps of evidence exist suggest that he has died many times, only to be reborn each time exactly the same man. Awakened during adolescence with all the knowledge and experience of all his lifetimes. The plots he orchestrates sometimes take hundreds of years to bear fruit. Needless to say, this is not the natural order of things. But he is said to be one of Woodica's favored, and that old bat was never one to let rules get in the way of favoritism.
Oh, even worse. He dies, goes on the wheel, and Woodica is just like, nope, nope, stay away, don't change him, don't do anything with him, nope, 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 and then just pulls him back out, and then he's born again. Perfect.
That may also explain another supposed gift of his. His body is no boundary to his soul, and he is known to take possession of others, if their souls are weak enough. Often it is for elaborate deceptions, but sometimes he simply forces them to kill themselves. He is not known for his generous supply of pity. He is also not one to show himself in any but their most critical matters. If he has directly involved himself in whatever the group plots now, it may be your only chance to find him. And once you do find him, if you can find him, I would not hold my hopes too high if I were you. He is a driven, single-minded man. He will not have the slightest concern for your problems.
So what did you want from me?
Keep me informed. The Leaden Key has been busy lately, and that is distressing news. I can only guess as to what they intend. You seem to have a knack for turning the stones they've crawled beneath. Keep turning them. Dunreed Row will not stop you. Whatever it is they're up to, figuring it out will be of great use to both of us. In your case, it will surely point you to Thaos. In return, I will share our knowledge with you as we learn it, and provide you with what assistance I can.
Very well done.
If you find your trail has run cold, come to me with whatever you have. There is much I may be able to do for you.
What else is there to know about the Leaden Key?
Precious little, I'm afraid. You may know much of it already. No one member knows the identity of more than a handful of other members. They are kept in the dark of missions they are not involved in, or sometimes of those they are involved in. They exist to hide secrets they themselves don't know. If you can imagine how gullible someone must be for that to appeal. Despite that, they are very good at what they do, owing much to their founder, who will take matters into his own hands when necessary. And he does not fail.
How do you know so much about him?
The same way I come by all my knowledge. Exhaustive research, spying, bribery, perhaps some less savory measures. Whatever the knowledge demands, I pay in full. There is nothing of greater value. Unfortunately, with Thaos, there is also nothing more scarce. He has covered his tracks far too well. His manipulations of the course of history are lost to time now, though I believe they were many.
There's something I can tell you about their operations.
Well, let's hear it.
Thaos was in the Brackenberry Sanitarium impersonating a patient. He was trying to damage the public opinions of animancy.
Forgive me, it is unlike Thaos to leave witnesses. He must be furious. He did not aid you as you'd hoped, I take it? Well, take heart. With any luck, when he has finished his business, he will surely come and find you again, if only to kill you while you sleep. This news of yours makes sense, of course. To dabble in animancy is to puzzle over the secrets of the gods. This would not be the Leaden Key's first action against it. But if this is connected to their other activities, we may be in for something on a much larger scale. If we can learn more about their goals and methods, perhaps we can get the palace behind us. With Avar's support, we may be able to put a stop to this.
Sick. Other questions?
Yes,
Is there a Lord Webb?
there was.
What happened to him?
He believed in dying with dignity. He was old-fashioned that way, my husband. We saw the world very differently, he and I. But he was good to me while he lasted.
Are you psychic?
If you are hoping I can look at your hand and tell you whom you should marry, you can just wipe that notion from your mind. I do not know what will happen tomorrow. That is what I pay spies for. Being a cipher is not unlike being a watcher. You notice more about what is already there.
Okay.
Many can hold an object and know where it's been, or peer into the thoughts of people around them. They can also sometimes affect those thoughts, but that would be unethical, of course. A tiny, talented few pick up so much about the world around them, they can get images of things to come, but these are fleeting and unreliable.
You said you don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Who said I was talented? I don't. Least not that I can trust. And with me, it's only ever about one thing anyway.
And that is?
A quiet day at home.
Alrighty then. How old are you? Never ask a woman
Try
her
your
age.
best not to die out there.
Yes, ma'am. I like her. What can I say? I have an appreciation for badass grandmas. Oh man, Mad Max Fury Road. 6 badass grandmas. Biker grannies. Everything I could want. Anyway, we should go back to Caed Nua, pick up Kana, and hit the road. There's so much to do. When I first played through Pillars of Eternity, one of the last quests I did before the end of the game was to kill Lord Radric. So, like, I don't know. Radric, buddy, how long has your wife's corpse been lying on that bed?
It's very nice.
Oh, we definitely are. Party. I keep seeing scouting and I'm like, is that party menu? No, is not party menu. Journal? No. Character? No. There we go. Bring our boy in. 2 days and a few hours.
Hey.
Huh. The keep looks better and better. Oh, Resolve is a fantastic ability. Yeah, sure. Resting in the towers. What was I gonna say? Right. Resolve is the major ability for paladins.
Of course. I feel.
And you get to do some pretty fucking wicked shit as a paladin, just staring people down and being like, what the fuck did you just say to me? Okay, I cannot go to Heritage Hill. We got Deerfoot, Searing Falls, and a whole great world out there of unexplored bullshit. But let's go. Let's see if we can get into Heritage Hill. It seems to be closed. But there's no doubt in my mind that we can gain access. Here it is. We have a special skill for opening doors. Doors others wish to remain closed.
Yes?
And I'm not just talking about my mechanics skill.
Hey.
Boom. 15 minutes. No probalo.
Of course.
Gods keep you.
Huh. How do I get inside? Trust me, you don't want to, but if you really were set on this, I suppose you'd have to get permission for Violet to keep of First Fires. What's going on in there? Look, even if I were allowed to tell you, I don't rightly know. All I can say is whatever's in there started about 2 months ago. The guards that closed the gate talked of something unnatural that still wakes them in the middle of the night. I don't want to know any more than that. Next time on Pillars of Eternity, we find out.